Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video. My name is Chief Pat, and today we're going to be hopping into a couple of replays inside of the Legendary Arena as we made our final push towards the end of last season. So if you guys did not know, last night, I think it's like at midnight on the East Coast of the United States, the Legend Arena reset. It resets every 2 weeks and it gives you some of your trophies in the form of Legend trophies. And I actually made my way up to number 4 in the world if you guys were watching my live stream. Before I tilted like crazy, I lost 5 straight matches and I dropped from number 4 in the world all the way down to number 46. I was losing like 45 trophies every loss that I had. I was really sad, so I took a break for about an hour or two, hung out with some of my buddies, and then I got back on to do a little bit more pushing, and that's what happened to climb back up to the top. Now let me show you guys some of the replays. I'll show you where I ended up towards the end of the video. As you can tell by the title, this video is all about giant skeleton explosions. I had a lot of giant skeletons reach the tower during the push, and you guys already saw one reach the tower towards the very beginning of this raid. Now notice those 3 musketeers though. I did not expect the 3 musketeers. If I knew they were coming, I would have dropped the giant skeleton right in the center. So the giant bomb's actually going to only kill 1 of the 3 musketeers. So we have to drop our Valkyrie right there. We're going to have to drop our poison spell on that minion horde. And after those all die, we should be okay. And we repelled most of his push, only taking about 700 damage. So at this point, we can either throw some spear goblins down the right-hand side or use our poison spell to take out that tower. So that tower is pretty much as good as gone. And taking a look at the right-hand side of the map, he's making a little bit of a push. I can just go ahead and drop my Valkyrie and my cannon to protect that tower. And here come my spear goblins. He's going to try to throw some arrows and take him out. But honestly, my Valkyrie would have taken out the tower anyways. So I don't know if those arrows had a whole lot of value. And now we can sort of just sit back on defense, see what he does. And of course, drop our giant skeleton wherever we want, especially if he pushes down the right-hand side. Okay, so he does drop a golem, and I don't think I have a great play right here. So I just dropped my giant skeleton so they would meet at the center of the bridge. And I'm going to go ahead and drop our 3 musketeers. Actually, all 3 of them were going right. I was trying to get 2 of them to go, or they're all going to go left. I was trying to get 2 of them to go right. He's going to play his own 3 musketeers. So this is setting up to be a pretty interesting battle. So let's drop our poison spell. Unfortunately, the poison spell was just outside of the radius of the princess, but I'm dropping a poison and a freeze. He drops his minion horde right there, but I don't think that minion horde is really going to do too much. And we were able to take him out on the left, able to take him out on the right, and with the prince barreling down the lane, of course our goblins will be able to stop him in his tracks, and the Valkyrie will clean up the rest. So with 10 seconds left in this battle, not really too much else he can do. Giant skeleton going down the right-hand side, a second giant skeleton going down the right-hand side, as well as our Valkyrie cleaning up those 3 musketeers. That's going to do it for this one. Pretty simple battle after that initial push with our giant skeleton exploding the tower, and a 1 crown to 0 victory using this deck against Prince Fear. So hopping into match number 2, looks like we're playing a completely different deck. He's going to be rocking the Dark Prince, Spear Goblins, a couple of other things. Still using the golem like Prince Fear was using, so let's see how he uses it. Honestly, I don't think the golem is too strong inside of this meta right now, but let's go and see what he does as he pushes with the Dark Prince down the left-hand lane. We're just going to play our goblins to try to clean up some of those troops, and the Dark Prince is going to die before it reaches the tower, and now we have a push going down the right-hand side. Okay, so he's going to play his prince right in the center of my giant skeleton as well as my spear goblins. I'm going to counter with my Valkyrie. I didn't want to just let my giant skeleton die. And taking a look at his deck, he has no cards he can play against our troops. So that's going to mean that our prince, or darks, what the heck am I talking about? Our giant skeleton, that had to be the biggest fumble of words I've ever had on YouTube. I'm going to leave that in the cut. Anyways, no one can stop our giant skeleton. He reached the tower as I threw up spaghetti out of my mouth. 783 HP on that top right-hand tower, and things are looking pretty good in this battle. So again, I know the value of my poison. My poison will do 330 damage to a tower, so that means I need 3 poison spells to take out the tower on the right-hand side, or I can try to get just a little bit more damage and maybe only drop a single poison spell. And check out how I split my 3 musketeers. I know a lot of people hate how the 3 musketeers can get countered by lightning, fireball, all of those things, but if you can actually split them, you can generally have a good shot of dealing some decent damage on one of the sides. Honestly, I think leaving 1 musketeer by itself is pretty underrated, and that's what I did right here. The 1 musketeer was able to get at least 1 hit off on the tower. The other 2 musketeers helped stop that Dark Prince push, and now we're just going to play a little bit of defense with our giant skeleton. And let's go ahead and see what he does. Okay, so Spear Goblin's going to try to kill that princess. They're able to do that. Looks like the minions are going to be able to kill the rest of our troops. I'm going to drop some goblins. What I was trying to do, I wasn't being an idiot. I mean, I guess I was. I was trying to keep the minions in place so the giant bomb would blow them up. But unfortunately, goblins died way too quickly. I had to drop a Valkyrie or something like that. So a noble effort, but honestly, it didn't work out towards the end. And now we're just going to set up to see what he plays next. Okay, so he's going to play an Elixir Collector followed up by a Golem. I'm going to use my first Poison spell on all three of those. So I used it on the Elixir Collector, the Tower, the King Tower, as well as the Golem. So 4 in total. And notice how I hit the King Tower. I know that I don't need to hit that right-hand tower anymore, so I don't mind waking up the King. It's really a pretty solid idea. I know I just need one more Poison spell. That's my condition to win the game. Looks like on the left-hand side, he has a pretty massive push, so let's go ahead and freeze that. Unfortunately, the Princess just demolished our 3 Musketeers, so we're going to have to play a little bit more defense on the right-hand side than I thought we would. As we drop our Valkyrie in the center, the Giant Bomb should explode the rest of the troops on the left. Spear Goblin's going to stop that Prince on the right, and that is going to give us the game. Things got a little bit hairy. Just have to drop that Poison spell right there onto that tower. Even if the Prince charged the tower, he wouldn't have enough damage to kill it, I don't think. So Goblins cleaned that one up for us, and that will wrap it up for a clean 1 crown to 0 victory. Pretty fun stuff. I made a mistake with those goblins, trying to use those to distract the minions. Of course, goblins die like paper to those poor minions, but let's hop into one more battle against Jordan and see what he can pull out as we start it off. Now, he's using the Hog Rider minion strategy. This strategy is used a ton. It is mega annoying. Pretty tough to deal with, especially with this type of deck. You can see he has the Fireball. This deck is actually one of the biggest counters to my deck that I'm running right now. It has a lot of answers, so gonna be a little bit tough, but let's go ahead and make a push down the left-hand lane with the Giant Skeleton as well as the single Musketeer. Seeing as the Musketeers on the right-hand side are just a little bit too injured to continue right there. However, a very good Valkyrie by Jordan. That's gonna end up taking out both of our troops. Looks like the Giant Bomb should be able to walk over and destroy that Musketeer right there. I guess the Musketeer is gonna walk over and get exploded by the Giant Bomb. Let's go ahead and reset on defense, see what Jordan does as he's prepping a Hog Rider. Let's see what we can do to fight back. Okay, so Hog Rider Goblins, super common. We can drop our Valkyrie. We don't have our cannon, which would have obviously been the perfect counter. I don't want to take too much damage though, so I dropped my Goblins, but he played a very nice zap right there. So I gave him a well played, and he gave me a thanks. So good sportsmanship from Jordan. Let's go ahead and keep pushing down the right-hand lane. We've got our Valkyrie running down. Looks like she's going to die to those minions. Things aren't looking great, but again, one single giant skeleton to the tower can change the entire game, and that's what we're aiming for inside of this battle. So fireballing both of our Musketeers, pretty smart play by him. Looks like our 3 Musketeer on the right is going to get caught up by his own Musketeer, so that means that we're sort of just going to reset, and we just have to find our way through in this base. The good thing about this strategy that we're using is if you reach the tower, the game's pretty much over, as long as you can get a lead right there. So let's just go ahead and keep doing that. Giant Skeleton's going to go down. This is only the second Giant Skeleton we played in this match. Let's see how Jordan responds. He just got full on Elixir, and it looks like he's going to spam some Goblins in the back. Honestly, those Goblins did absolutely nothing. The 2 on the left are going to die before they hit the tower, as well as the 1 on the right is just going to give me more time for my Giant Skeleton to make its way down the lane. But still, another good set of minions right there. They will get blown up, I think, by the tower. Only one of them will. So again, another set of Musketeers running down the lane. And yeah, things are pretty sad. This is the best we can really do, is just sort of split them up and see what we can do. But he's playing pretty well. Let's go ahead and try to freeze right here. We're going to freeze the Musketeer. We're going to freeze the cannon. But take a look at our Giant Skeleton. Our Giant Skeleton has finally made its way to the tower. I don't think I've played many free spells, if any free spells throughout this battle. So take a look at the left-hand side. From 1935 health all the way down to 546. That means only 2 more poison spells and we can win the game. And just like that, a battle turns on its head. Only 1 poison spell is what you need to change the battle. I'm going to drop our first one right here. That'll help kill the Musketeer as well, so we're getting good value. Looks like he's going to drop some minions over the top. Those should just die to our tower. And at this point, just have to defend against this Hog Rider right here. So let's go ahead and freeze that. Fireball is going to miss our Goblins, and that should pretty much be game as we cycle back to our poison spell, giving us, again, another 1 crown to 0 victory using this strategy. So far so good. I made a really good push last night. I know I said I tilted. I lost like 5 in a row and dropped down to number 46. But till the end of my climb, I didn't give up. I kept pushing for about another hour and a half. And I ended up reaching number 4 in the world before I went to bed with only 4 hours left in the season, which ended up pretty well towards the very end. So I ended up number 4 at the end of the push. You can see right now I got number 8 for the season. I think I was like 2 trophies away from number 6, but of course I was sleeping, couldn't really do too much about it. So yeah, things were really good. I feel pretty proud getting number 8, completely fair play, no win trading or anything like that, which not a lot of top players can say. So far so good, and we'll see what happens throughout this next season. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you drop a like. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.